So I'm grateful for the artists that assembled this wooden replica of what I think is the most famous badge in the world for policing, that it represents the core values of service, of integrity, of leadership.
Now, how I got started with wood carving was at 3 years old. We lived on a big livestock ranch in Santa Clarita, and I would run out from our ranch home at the railroad crossing coming onto the ranch for the horn of the train. He must have told all the engineers that run that route who I was, and I ended up becoming their little mascot. When they got up to that railroad crossing, they were giving me as much horn as I could dance to. And it's like if I was at Magic Mountain, Disneyland, and Knott's Berry Farm, and I could never get enough of that horn. 14 years old, I wanted to start carving trains. I remembered when I came in here, and instead of just making pieces for me as trains, I can branch out and make pieces that could be shared with the city. A lot of the officers that walked around here, and they would pass by the studio here, and they couldn't help but at least pop in for a second to see what I was doing. And they came up. I remember one of them had mentioned about if one of them retired, they give them a wooden badge. And I said, I would love to do a badge, but I would like to do it in a large format. But it would represent all of the police officers across the whole world. I can remember the day that we took that LAPD badge up there. And then when we took it up there and we stood it up, if you would have drove a car in there, you would be honored to be wearing that badge, and you seen that badge. They must have called a few of the officers that came out and seen that. You should have seen the joy in their face. It's something about art. You can see the joy in their face of something coming up there and just connecting with them. And I looked at Mr. Moore and I said, Mr. Moore, I had a lot of time to understand every inch and every signature on that badge. I said, if an officer stands up to what that means, you never can go wrong. And he looked at me straight in the eyes and he goes, you're 100% right. And I go, I can see why you're the chief of police.
I was humbled by it. I thought the work of its artist, Jackie, was profound. When we talked about its construct and the manner of which it was assembled and the thoughtfulness that went into it, I'm grateful for his generosity, for the toil and strain, for how he actually met the challenge of replicating this on such a scale.
And I always looked at the big picture that we got to be thankful for the police officers and the firefighters out there. They're our first responders. We're the ones that have to contact them if we're in need and need help.
This will serve in its location as a reminder to every recruit and to every member of this organization who passes through this academy, whether it's training, visiting our uniform store, or just enjoying our grounds, that they are a member of what I think is the finest law enforcement agency in the world, and that through these hallways march the giants of public safety.